Hey, how you doing? This is Tom, and this is Tom's Radio Room Show, and boy, am I excited. Do you remember my show? It's about 3 months ago. This one right here about the new Tecsun PL-520, which is supposed to be a replacement for the PL-330, which is an outstanding radio. But at that time, you could only get it from AliExpress, and it was Chinese version. Now, what I mean by Chinese version is you can't see it in this picture, but the writing here was Chinese, and I believe the manual was Chinese. And of course, you had to order it from the Chinese company AliExpress. So I thought I'd hold off and wait till somebody in the United States was selling an English version. Well, guess what? They have. And at Anaco sent me one brand new English version of the the Tecsun PL-520. And it's not in their store yet, but it's going to be in the store very soon, and I'll do a quick video of that when it becomes available. So I put together, with the help of AI, a little slideshow telling you or showing you or attempting to show you the evolution from the PL-330 to the 520. And I'm going to show you that right now, or attempt to, right here. Okay, so we'll start the slideshow. And this is the Ultralight evolution from the PL-330 to the PL-520. And of course, the whole concept was based on an ultralight portable DSP receiver. The frequency range was extensive: shortwave, medium wave, long wave, FM. And this is not exactly what it looks like, but it's pretty close. Now, this is the era of ultralight DSP, digital signal processing radios. And it started out, it was the PL-330 was a update to a PL-660, which was a super heterodyne, which in itself, the 660 was a great radio, but the 330 was even exceptionally better. And it was smaller. Then, now, the PL-520 is another iteration. And it resolves some of the physical and technical shortcomings, which there are not many, that the PL-320 has. There's not many. 320 is still a great radio. One of the things is they chose about the same body, so it looks very, very, very similar to a 320, and they changed the internal firmware and hardware to the 520, basically an upgrade, and an upgrade in performance, which is noticeable. Okay, the 330, here's kind of the history of the 330. It had, I believe the newer models have replaced this micro USB port with the newer. I believe that's true. The layout was, you had to lay it down or stand it up. It had no kickstand. The body was a little, and these are all knit things, the body was a little creaky, wasn't smooth. And I always say that because that's been improved in the 520. It had 850 memory banks, 10 hertz fine-tuning steps, and an independent LSB and USB button. Again, a little nit. Now, the new 520, it has the modern USB-C port. Not a big deal, but most things are going that way. So it's more common nowadays to have the USB-C. It has a rounded, and I'll be doing a video after this one showing you the actual radio. It has a rounded tactile chassis, and the edges and everything are nice and smooth compared to the 320. Again, just a little nit. It has a kickstand. I love radios with kickstands. It added a favorites button. This is new. And it unified or combined into one LSB USB toggle instead of two separate ones, like shown here. This is a picture of the 320 is what my AI found for me. Okay, moving on. Now here's the picture representing the kickstand. And like I say, I love radios with a kickstand because I like to set my radios back at an angle so they don't fall over. So to me, that's a little addition, but to me, it's a big addition. Now, what's under the hood? The Silicon Labs SI4732, which I've talked about in my previous videos on other radios, is the chip of the day, shall we say. And it increases the shortwave sensitivity with the use of this. So the 330, it was 20 microvolts, and now on the 520, it's 10. Awesome. Chuffing, my really pet peeve is muting while tuning. The DSP radios have muting while tuning. So if you turn the tuning knob too fast, it cuts out and you go, drives me nuts. I hate that. Any of the radios that I have that, I just don't use. So in the 520, they've done things to the algorithm to help smooth this out. Now we'll see. We'll see when I do my testing how much it has improved. Okay, going on. The other thing, this is pretty significant, is the 520 has added additional bandwidths. You can see by this picture here, they added the extra 5 kilohertz bandwidth on shortwave and adds also an extra 6 kilohertz. And they've improved the single sideband and the synchronous detect. Again, we'll see how much it's improved when I do my testing, or maybe we'll see. This is the other thing I still don't quite, I know what the concept is, but I'm a little confused how to use it. This is the thing that the Texans have, is the ETM, the tuning, enhanced tuning mode plus now they have. So you can scan frequencies and then capture them and save them based on time of day. And then you can go back later to that function and have it go through your banks at a specific time of day. It's kind of gimmicky to me, but I guess once you learn how to use it properly, it can come in handy. Now, hidden features. Both radios conceal advanced logic behind long press keys. For instance, if you push the 3 key, you can disable the internal ferrite rod for medium wave and long wave and enable the external jack that's on the side to hook up an external medium wave, long wave antenna. The backlight, this is a feature I love. The backlight you can have turned on all the time. Now, you don't want to do that once you've quit fiddling with your radio because it's going to run the battery down. But what I like to do is when I'm first testing a radio, I like to keep that backlight on all the time while I'm trying the various functions, because a lot of times I go, what am I supposed to do next? And then the backlight goes off while I'm trying to think of what I'm supposed to do next. It drives me nuts. I love this feature. And then in SSB mode, you can calibrate the internal oscillator to a 0-beat reference carrier. So you can basically calibrate the radio. Then I've talked about the power adapter cord, be it the old micro USB port, which I think, you can correct me, I think the latest models of the PL-330 use the USB-C. But for sure, the new PL-520 uses it. Now, one of the drawbacks is both of them use these older cell phone batteries, and they don't have a high capacity. It says 1,000 milliamp hours. That's not a lot of capacity. Especially if you are like me, I'll tune a radio station in and I'll just leave the radio on in background. And of course, it's drawing power. And of course, I want to shut off the backlight when I'm just listening because that'll really draw power. So I really don't like the fact that you still use the PL-5C lithium battery. All right, here is the overall differences. Size, about the same. Weight, exactly the same. Again, the original PL-330s used a micro USB charging port. The new PL-520 uses USB-C, not a biggie. Mechanical kickstand, there was none on the PL-330. It's now on the 520. I love that. It's a little nit, but to me, to be able to have that kickstand and not have the radio get knocked over easily is a big deal to me. Additional AM filters, additional shortwave filters, and the quick access favorites button. So that's it. Again, I will be doing a review of the radio itself, showing you the new radio that Anna sent me. I appreciate that Anna sent that to me. And like I say, I really, really like my 330. Now, I think I have one more slide. At this point in time, what are my recommendations? Which should you choose? Well, if you own a PL-330, I think, and you're happy with it, I think you just stay with the 330. If you don't have a 330 and say you've got some other brand of radio that hasn't really provided you with the performance that you like, I would go with the 520. Now, like I say, Anna told me as of 2 days ago that they still don't have sufficient inventory to put it in their store. But it's going to be like next week. And I'll do a quick video when it does come available, pointing to her store, and so you can get one from her. I don't know the price yet. I think the price of a 330 now is around $80, depending on where you get it. So I'm assuming the 520 probably going to be around that same price, but I could be totally wrong. So don't hold me to that price. Anyway, that's it. If you enjoyed my show, please give me a thumbs up. That shows YouTube that I'm presenting shows that you're interested in and not wasting your time. And there goes a speeder. Where our street is 15 miles an hour. Nobody does 15 miles an hour on our street, even with the speed bumps. Anyway, Oh, if you haven't subscribed, wish you would. I want to thank everybody that has subscribed recently. I've gotten over 300 new subscribers this year already, which for my little channel, that's a lot of some new subscribers. And I want to thank you all. And I want you all to have a great day. Bye-bye.